Imagine when you're feeling exhausted after a long day at work or school, having navigated through complex situations and maneuvered through interpersonal minefields, just awaiting safe haven. And then as you arrive home and pull open the door, you're greeted by a pair of loving eyes, a joyfully wagging tail, and an expression that simply says, "I'm glad you're here." Now think of all the people you know, maybe yourself, friends, family members, that are greeted this way at the end of your day. About 37 to 47% of American households include at least one dog. Many people get to experience the joys of pet ownership, and how we find and support our animal companions deeply matters as well. Overall, animal adoption and rescue agencies are well worth advocating. As I look for a dog in the coming months, I'll be researching where to find my puppy, the care that's provided to my future BFF, and how that organization treats all the animals they encounter. Not only is this information relevant to current pet owners or those seeking a new pet, but education about this subject is an ethical precursor to improving animal rights and welfare. We'll talk about where people get their dogs from specifically, why adoption and rescue agencies are the best option, and also talk about ways that you can get involved to support their cause. Based on a 2011 market research report, about 28% of dog owners found their dog through a friend or family member, approximately 30% through adoption or rescue, and the remainder through one of two avenues that exist in the open marketplace: pet shops and breeders. This same report revealed that 9% of dog owners had gotten their puppy through a pet store or at a pet store. While this is a relatively small proportion, pet stores are best avoided altogether for purchasing your new dog. Before I did research, I figured that, say, a large percentage, maybe even a majority, of the dogs sold in pet stores might come from puppy mills. I was shocked to learn that 99% of the dogs that are sold in pet stores do come from puppy mills, which embody the most inhumane, unhealthy type of characteristics of modern industrialization. Puppies that are bred and sold through puppy mills are treated in a profit-based mindset with little to no regard for the animal's well-being. For this reason, many of these dogs have severe physical ailments or socialization issues, or both, which not only puts unnecessary emotional and financial burden on the final owner, but also detracts from the animal's well-being. Also, to avoid other sources of puppy mill puppies, be wary of classified ads and internet sellers. While going through a breeder instead might be a decent option, there are drawbacks as well. Controlled maintenance of the purebred's lineage may lead to genetic inbreeding disorders and also higher incidences of health conditions to which that breed is already predisposed. Buyers do have to do their due diligence to research breeders to check for quality and integrity, and even if they can verify a breeder's credentials, the cost of buying a purebred dog can be relatively high. For reasons that include a more economical approach, adoption and rescue is the preferred method for most pet seekers. These facilities tend to keep animal welfare at the top of their operational objectives, so they're preferable in that way. Many of these organizations partner with like-minded nonprofits or national organizations, which keep them accountable for the way that they treat the animals under their care. For example, the ASPCA partnership networks with many community shelters, providing resources to the animals in their most at-risk populations in those regions. Another organization, the Best Friends Animal Society, marshals a few primary objectives, such as ending breed discrimination, like for pit bulls, and educating people about puppy mills as well. Through these channels, You also can find individual adoption and rescue agencies that are passionate about animal welfare. These organizations are genuinely invested in the successful transition of their animals into new homes and provide a wealth of resources to help. First of all, they're staffed and with employees and volunteers that are passionate, dedicated, and educated and want to help. They tend to offer multiple services that may include boarding services, obedience, training and obedience classes, and many other services as well. And not only offering resources directly for the pets, they also have ways to care for the humans that love animals too. At the Animal Humane Society in Golden Valley, near where I live, there's a pet loss support group that meets weekly. So they take care of the humans as well as the animals. Along with providing assistance to individual pet owners, these agencies also have hands in community outreach programs, investigating cases of animal cruelty, and aiding local wildlife efforts. To advocate for these worthy causes in your community, there are many other ways to lend your support. There's some ways that involve getting to interact directly with the animals. One of those is fostering, which is ideal most for short-term commitments, as not everyone has the lifestyle or extensive resources to care for a pet in the long term, so fostering may be a great alternative. There's also volunteer opportunities, which in general may not require a large time commitment on a weekly or monthly basis. They're great to be able to interact with a variety of animals and also get to meet other like-minded animal lovers in that organization as well. These organizations, of course, also really appreciate financial contributions. The shelters and facilities that offer the highest level of care to their animals, of course, incur the highest costs. So donations help greatly to offset that. Also, a lot of the events and fundraisers put on by these organizations are a lot of fun to participate in. Every May for the past several years, I volunteered with my roller derby league at the Animal Humane Society Walk for Animals. My friend Carrie, pictured here, loves to participate with her dogs in the costume contest and consistently has been a top individual fundraiser for this annual event. Supporting animal adoption shelters and rescue organizations benefits not only the animals and people that own the pets, but also responds to, for all of us, a greater ethical calling to animal rights and justice. Instead of selecting a dog through a breeder and certainly never through a pet store, I consider adoption and rescue as the best options. These organizations provide many valuable services, and there are lots of ways to get involved to fulfill your duty toward improving the lives of our four-legged friends. Think again of that puppy that was looking up at you with unconditional adoration of love and acceptance. Mark Twain had said, "Heaven goes by favor. If it went by merit, you would stay out and your dog would go in." Although dogs set a high standard for characteristics such as loyalty and forgiveness, you can better your favor by in turn showing them kindness and empathy.